Hi, it's Jan Yvonne. For today's gentle practice, find yourself a comfortable seat. So you can be seated cross-legged, or you can be seated back on your heels. If you're cross-legged as I am and your knees want to come up a little bit higher, definitely place something under your hips, a blanket or a block or a pillow or something to let your hips come up a little bit higher. You may even want to use a second blanket or pillow to get your hips up even higher, right? We want to be able to sit comfortably with a straight spine. Hips up at the level of the knees, right? Or the knees at the level of the hips is going to allow us to sit more comfortably. So from here, once you've found that comfortable seat, let your hands come down to the mat or the floor beside your hips. We're going to start with some sun breaths. So on an inhale, reach your arms out to the side and all the way up overhead. Let your fingertips touch lightly over your head. And then on an exhale, let your arms float back down to your side. So we're going to continue this back and forth, and you're going to continue it on your own, at your own pace, following the rhythm of your own breath. Gently beginning to coordinate breath and movement. You can keep your eyes open. If you're more comfortable, you can close your eyes or keep a soft gaze in front of you. Remember inhaling as we allow the arms to float up overhead and then exhaling them back to your side. Focus on the quality of your breath. Can it be smooth, slow, and relaxed? Take 2 more sun breaths. And then at the end of that second breath, let your hands come back to your knees or your lap. Open your eyes if you've got them closed. From here then, let's go ahead and slide ourselves off of whatever support you might have, and go ahead and uncross your legs. If you got them crossed, you can shake them out a little bit if that feels good. And then bend your knees. You're going to let your feet come flat on the mat. Let your feet be nice and wide apart, right? Almost as wide as your mat. Let your hands then come back behind your hips, right? Easy does it. We're going to let the knees gently rock from side to side. So this is a nice, gentle hip opener. Nice way to get some internal and external rotation going in the hip sockets. So make sure you got enough room between your feet so that inside knee will have room to come all the way down to the mat if it wants to. And then the next time your knees come over to the right, go ahead and leave them there. So facing this direction with your right heel kind of drawn in a little bit towards your groin. Your left leg is back wherever it's comfortable. It can be back behind you. It can be on top of the right foot, right? Whatever's comfortable for you. And then let your hands come to either side of that right knee. We're going to let the upper body now extend forward over that leg and then round your spine, lower your head, come back to upright. So you're going to keep going back and forth, right? This nice, easy, flowing movement. If you like, you can start to change the direction of the movement a little bit. Maybe you want to come forward over the shin. See what kind of a stretch that gives you. Or twist in the opposite direction, looking over your right shoulder as you extend down towards the mat. Let yourself explore the movement here. See what feels good. And the next time you come to upright, we'll swing the legs over in the other direction. So left heel draws in, right leg's back behind you. Start with your hands to either side of that left knee, right? Leading with your heart, extending forward over that leg, and again, rounding as you come back up. Continuing back and forth. Remember to coordinate your breath along with the movement here in some way. Remember, there's no right or wrong way to do it. but allow yourself to coordinate the breath along with the movement. Conscious breath, conscious movement. The next time you come to upright, bring your legs back to center. And then from here, we're going to swing the legs right out from under us and come to table, right? So hands and knees for some kneeling cat-cow stretches, right? So wrists under your shoulders, your knees under your hips, yeah? On an inhale, we're going to let the tailbone press up towards the ceiling, arching your back, lifting your head. On the exhale, tucking your tailbone under, rounding your spine and lowering your head. So you're going to keep going back and forth, right? This nice, easy, gentle flexion and extension of your spine. Cat-cow stretch is a great way to get the spine moving, creating and maintaining mobility. And then coming back to neutral, coming back to table. From here, you're going to find your way to standing. However you want to move to get there, right? Including the aid of a chair if you need it to come to upright. And once you get to standing, go ahead and find your Tadasana, mountain pose, right? So Tadasana, the insides of the feet are parallel. Your feet are as close together as is comfortable for you. See if you can feel the weight of your body distributing across the bottoms of the feet equally. Right? The balls of the feet, the insides and outsides, the heels. Left and right foot, equal pressure. Let your tailbone drop and your belly draw in. Lift up and out from your waist. Let your shoulders relax away from your ears and the crown of your head lift. Standing sun salutations. We're going to inhale, extend your arms out and up overhead. Let your hands clasp together to a steeple position with your index fingers extended up. Gently, we're going to let the upper body arc to the left. So really reaching up and out through the fingertips and through the crown of your head. Nice full breaths. On an inhale, then bring it back to center, and on the exhale, arc over to the right. So again, we don't want to collapse into that right side. We want to be reaching and extending up and out, creating space in the torso. And then on an inhale, we're going to bring it back to center. On an exhale, we're going to gently arc back. Emphasis on the gently here. Let this be an easy back bend, nothing forced. Doesn't have to be big and dramatic. But continue to reach up through the fingertips, through the crown of your head. Can you allow your heart, your sternum, the breastbone to lift? Inhale, back up to center. On an exhale, we're going to swan dive forward, letting your head come toward your knees, bending your knees if you need to, and then inhaling to a flat back, the Ardha Uttanasana, or half forward fold. Exhale then back to a forward fold. And then on an inhale, we're going to reverse swan dive, extending the arms out and up overhead, hands together to Anjali Mudra. Exhale, let your hands float back to your heart. Again, inhale the fingertips down and extend out and up. Easy, gentle arc back. Exhale, swan dive forward. Let your head come toward your knees. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, extending out and up. Hands together. Exhale your hands to your heart. One more time. Inhale, the fingertips down, extend out and up. Easy, gentle arc back. Exhale, swan dive forward, head to the knees. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, reverse swan dive, extending the arms out and up overhead, hands together. Exhale, lowering your hands past your face to your heart. Take a nice deep breath in. On the exhale, let your arms float to your side. And just take a few nice, deep, and slow breaths here. And just notice how the body is responding so far to your practice today. From here then, staying in mountain pose, we're going to do a little dynamic balance posture, right? So we're going to be standing on one leg. So again, if you need the aid of a chair for balance, go right ahead. If you want to come off onto a firmer surface, onto a solid floor, you can go ahead and do that as well. Remember, the softer and cushier your surface, the more challenging the balance is going to be. So your choice about where you want to stand, but find that mountain pose, right? That straight and true Tadasana. On an inhale, you're going to shift the weight to the right foot. Lift your left leg up and let the arms extend out to the side, that thigh parallel with the floor. On the exhale, lower your arms and the leg back down. Shift to the other leg. Inhale. Raise that right leg up, arms out to the side. Exhale and lower back down. So again, you're going to continue this on your own and at your own pace, right? Inhaling, the leg up, the arms out, exhaling, and coming back down. So as you continue this dynamic balance, see if you can still maintain your Tadasana alignment, right? That mountain pose. So continuing to lift through the crown of your head, your torso, your spine elongated, right? The breath smooth and full and relaxed. Can your breath lead and the movement follow your breath? If you want to play with a little challenge, you can try pausing at the top of the inhale just for a few seconds and then exhaling and lowering back down. One more repetition on each side. And then at the end of that second repetition, we'll all meet again back in mountain pose. From here, we're going to come back onto our mats, and we're going to come onto our bellies, right, for a little back extension. So we're going to strengthen the low back here, right? So we're going to come into a dynamic variation of Cobra Pose. So let your hands come under your shoulders. Slide them down just a little bit towards the ribs so the elbows are up in the air. And then draw the elbows into the body. Yeah? So your feet about hip width, maybe a little bit narrower apart. The tops of your feet pressing down into the mat. So for this dynamic cobra, we're not using the hands, right? We're not pressing the hands into the mat to lift up. It's all back body. So don't worry about how high you get up off the mat. That's not the intent, right? The intent is to engage those muscles of the back body in a healthy way. So think more extension through the toes and through the crown of your head rather than trying to lift up high, right? So again, dynamic balance. Elbows in, shoulders are down away from the ears. On the inhale, lift your torso and both of your legs up off the mat. On the exhale, lower just your left leg all the way and your chest part way. Inhale and bring everything back up. Exhale and lower your right leg all the way and your chest part way. Inhale, bring everything back up and hold. And then exhale and lower everything down. Again, elbows in, shoulders back and down. Inhale, lifting the torso and both of your legs. Exhale, lower your right leg all the way, your chest part way. Inhale and bring everything back up. Exhale, lower your left leg all the way, your chest part way. Inhale, bring everything back up and hold. Exhale and lower everything down. And one more time, again, elbows in, shoulders down. Inhale, lifting the torso and both of your legs. Exhale, lower your left leg all the way, your chest part way. Inhale, bring everything back up. Exhale, lower your right leg all the way, chest part way. Inhale, bring everything back up and hold. And on the exhale, lower everything down. Let your hands slide forward. And bring your hands under your chin or under your forehead, whatever's comfortable for you. And bend your knees, and then just easy does it windshield wiper your feet from side to side. So this is designed to just help release and relax the low back after all that work. And then from here, straighten your legs out. And find a way to roll yourself over mindfully onto your back. So, once you get there, let your knees be bent with your feet flat on the mat. And we're going to come into a dynamic bridge pose, right? So, knees bent, feet and knees about hip width apart, right? Heels kind of scooched up towards your sitting bones as close as is comfortable for you. Your arms are at your side with your palms facing down. In the dynamic bridge, we're going to be lifting the hips up off the mat. At the same time we're lifting the hips, the arms extend all the way up overhead. And then on the exhale, we're lowering the hips and lowering the arms. So you're going to continue with this dynamic bridge. Again, on your own, at your own pace. Inhaling the hips up and the arms up overhead, and exhaling, lowering them back to your side. And do 2 more repetitions. And at the end of that second repetition, just let your hips and your arms rest back on the mat. And then from here, gently go ahead and draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice hug. If it feels good, you can rock your knees side to side. You can make circles with them. Whatever feels good on your low back. And then let your feet come back to the mat. Straighten your legs out on the mat. From here, we're going to come into a knee down twist. So, bending your right knee, let the foot come to the mat. And we're going to scooch the hips to the right a couple of inches, right? Draw that right knee into your chest and let it come over, across the body, over to the left. Your left hand can come on that knee for a little support or encouragement, right? Your right arm then extends out into a T position on the mat. Can your right shoulder be relaxed on the mat? Can you press your left heel out away from you, right? Again, keeping that Tadasana alignment even in this reclining twist. And breathe. Can you feel the back body expanding with the breath, especially the low back? Feel the low back expand as you inhale. And then release as you exhale. And then slowly bring that leg back to center. You can unscooch your hips then if it feels good to draw that knee into your chest. Before you straighten out your leg, go right ahead. And then bending your left knee. Scooch the hips to the left a couple inches, drawing that knee into your chest. We're going to let it extend across the body, right, into a twist. So the hips are stacking, right? Let your left arm come out into a T position. Right hand can be on that knee or thigh for some support. And again, see if you can extend that right heel out away from you. Breathing. And then slowly drawing that knee back to center. Unscoot your hips. Again, if it feels good to hug that knee into your chest before you straighten out your legs, go for it. And if you want to lie here on your back in Shavasana, go right ahead. If not, roll over onto your side into a fetal position. Press yourself to sitting. Let your head be the last thing to come to upright. Namaste.